What's going on, everybody? Z here. Welcome back to Once Human. Today we're going to be talking about the Gardener class. Now, I'm going to straight up tell you right now, I do not know a ton about this class. However, I know enough to hopefully get you started, and then you can get on your way. You can figure some things out and basically just get a starting point, because there's a lot that this game does not tell you about any of this stuff. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to hop in and talk about the most basic things, the things that I've experimented with, I've tried, and leave your comments down below. Let me know if you found out anything else that could be helpful. Leave them in the bottom in the comments of this video. Absolutely. Anyways, the Gardener class. So, as with any class, once you start the game, once you start a server or you're able to, you're going to get an item, and it's going to be like a mask, and you're going to pick your class. Obviously, you've already picked your class at this point. You're a Gardener. So, in order to kind of look at the Gardener stuff, if you want to, you can actually go up to Memetics Cradle. You can click on Memetics, and the top, very top left, there's a little Gardener button. You can click on that, and you can kind of read through the information that it gave you when you were selecting. Now, it's weird because it says at the bottom, equipped, but you have to have these items in order to switch. So I don't think you can. But anyways, you can see your stuff here. You can look through the information. You can kind of see what you got. And I'm going to talk about the items that you get for this. So there's a couple things here. Class traits, HP sowing, specializes in crops and bio. Mechanics, can graft crops with other crops. It's going to give you abilities to do stuff. Okay. We're not going to talk about this stuff because it's all passive stuff anyways. So the items you're going to get a core, this thing right here, a greenhouse core. You're going to get this. It's going to be in your inventory. You can only get one. You can only make one. You can place it down anywhere. It does require 15 watts of power to run. So you're going to need one solar panel in order to run it, because one solar panel gives you 15 watts of power, unless you have other stuff going on. But you're going to need that in order to run the thing. So what does this actually do? Well, if you go into build mode, you can see that we have a radius. It's not a very big radius, I might add. So this is kind of how I have it to maximize our yield. I probably could throw more planters in here and it'd probably hit it. But as you can see, there's our radius. That's the area you got working here. Now, what it does is when you go up to it, you interact with it, you can set your lighting control. You can set whatever light you want level. And you can set what irrigation level you want. Now, this is where my big first complaint comes in with this, is it uses boiled water, and it uses 10 water per minute of running. So, for me, my experience, it's almost worthless, because you're not going to be able to get enough boiled water to leave it and let it run for a while. You know what I mean? 10 per minute. I don't know why that's like that. To me, that's insane. So I hope that gets adjusted, but it's almost unusable at that point. Now, like I said, you can basically, you throw this in there, you do your thing, whatever. You get irrigation control. I don't even have any going right now because like I said, it's ridiculous. It uses it so much so fast. It's insane. Now, it does not currently use purified water. You cannot currently pipe to it. So you can't set up a deposit thing and then pipe to it. So that means that you cannot automate this with an irrigation system, because usually you'd hook up, your irrigation stuff, and then you would hook up to a water tank, and then you would send it out, right? You'd be good to go. No, you can't do that. It uses boiled water. Boiled water can only be made by hand. It's terrible. This is almost worthless. Now, the argument for this is that, oh, well, you could use it in the early phases of the game when nobody else can use irrigation and crop lighting. That's because automated irrigation and grow lights are down in the 4th transcendence tier. That does not typically unlock till your 2nd or 3rd week of gameplay. So if you were a gardener, you could set up some automation from the get-go. However, like I said, with the cost of the boiled water, it's unreasonable. It's insane. It's crazy. It should be 1 minute per boiled water or something like that. Maybe, or even 5. No, it needs to be more than 5. It needs to be obtainable and useful, because it's not at this point. Because basically, as soon as you get to the automated irrigation stuff, you don't even need this anymore. Completely useless. So, first class thing right there. It's okay. I mean, I have it up. I'm using it to use it, but it's not great. By the time, if you can get the other stuff, 100% get the other stuff. It is 10 times better than this, and that makes this class thing right here. It's only useful in the very beginning, and even in the very beginning, it's not even that useful. So that is the core. Now, let's talk about, oh my gosh. we're going to talk about this portable planter box, okay? This portable planter box is a nightmare of frustration of figuring out how this thing works. So before we get to that, I want to get to a couple other things that will lead to this. So when you are out and about and you're killing enemies, doing whatever you're doing, you are going to be coming across biomechanical parts. So for example, I'm going to pull up this. I don't have any right now on me, but the biomechanical parts you can get. So we have the balloon part. You can see we have a balloon part head here. We've got a biomechanical part, the agent head. This is the briefcases that spit at you. You can get that part. You can also get a, I guess you can get a chest monster biomechanical part. That's pretty cool. A rainfall reaper umbrella. You can get the digger attachment from the drill guys. You can get the lamp head from some of the lamp head things. You can also get the scorcher like headpiece, you know, and then the firefly bulb. Those are the biomechanicals you can get. They're a random chance drop. Now, before, if you're a gardener, do not go over to your disassembly bench any longer. Don't do this unless they change it. Do not go in here, get on your scrap and select all, because those parts that you pick up are in here. Now, I believe that they're all purple or blue, and it's going to be like up here in the top corner. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you don't accidentally destroy them, because I know I've already done it because I didn't realize it until I saw it too late. So when you go in here and you hit select all, make sure you're not doing that stuff. Like I said, they should be blue or purple. They should not be just this gray color. So if you select all, just deselect the ones that are, you don't want to obviously destroy. So that's how you get them. Now, what do you do with them? So you start by growing crops, okay? Plant whatever you want. I don't know the details of if there's certain crops that work with certain pieces better or not than others. I don't know. I've literally gotten one of these to work, which we're going to talk about as well. So let's look at the beet here. Now, if you look at my options of most of these plants, and I say most, there's a grafting, transplant, clear, and harvest. So you're going to want a grafting option. The grafting option is going to give you the ability to graft your mechanical parts to it. Now, this also works with other corn and other foods and stuff like that. So like, let's say you wanted to make a corn beet, you could click this and it would make a corn beet. Or grafting result, sweet corn. There you go. Or sweet wheat or whatever. You can do all this stuff, but everybody's here for the biomechanical stuff. Let's be real. So you can see we have a grafting success rate, which is great. 70% is pretty good. I will tell you right now, the highest I've ever seen with the biomechanical parts has been 40%. Most of them have been 24%. Now, those rates are really, really low. And like I said, I've only had one actually be successful. And I'm going to tell you how I got that one successful. And I'm going to talk about another thing that we can do. So basically what you're going to do, as a recap, you're going to go over here to your plants, you're going to go to grafting, and you're going to select your thing, whatever you want, and then you're going to press F to graft it. Now, once it is grafting, you can then use a additional thing that is a grafting catalyst. So we have a plant grafting catalyst and a biomechanical grafting catalyst. If you're just doing plants to plants, this is the one you're going to want to use for that. If you're using biomechanical, trying to make those biomechanical ones, you're going to want the biomechanical grafting catalyst. Now, this is another huge drawback. These require detoxidant, which if you've been playing for any sort of time, you know detoxidant is not the most easily obtainable resource in the game. It's not too bad. Go to your hospitals. That's where I farm this stuff if I need it. That's where you're going to find it. Now, you have those two. That is going to help you with your grafting success chance. Now, while we're in here, I want to talk about the other two. There is high efficiency grafting stuff. These require refined detoxidant, which is even harder to find. The crafting materials for these are like this one right here. I will tell you right now, refined detoxidant is a nightmare to find. I have found a handful in my entire time playing. This is such a pain. You can't craft it. You just have to find it, and you have to be absolutely lucky to get it. So to me, these high efficiency ones are completely out of the question. I'm not even going to try for these because it's just this refined detoxidant is just, it's so rare. It's so hard to find. So I'm not going to plan to use those, which means For most people, you're probably going to be using these to start with. Now, the problem with those is that you can only use 3 on one plant. So let's say you have a plant that's grafting. It's doing its thing. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I have a plant here we can graft. Let's go into graft. Let's just do this one. And then let's go into details. So I could use a grafting thing here, and it would increase the grafting success chance. So for the ones that I have done with the biomechanical stuff, the cheaper level one, the ones that use the detoxidant, raise it by 1 or 2% max. So, and like I said, you can only use 3. That means if I make 3 of those, I bring them over to a plant that's at 40%, I can take it up to a max of 46%. Is that worth it? No, it's not. And then the higher level one, I believe, I don't even know what the higher level one is. I think it's like 5 or 10%. So that one might be worth it to get you, if it was 10% and you could go from 40 to like 70%, that would be pretty good. But like I said, refined detoxin is such a pain to find. I don't think a lot of people are going to be doing it. Now, like I said, there is a success rate here, which means if it fails, it just turns into a plant. I've had most of mine fail. Most of them do not ever come out to be anything. And it's kind of a pain. So you go through all this process, you wait forever because you have to wait for the plant to grow. And then you graft it and you have to wait for it to grow again. And then you just come back and you hope that it's a plant that looks different, is really what it boils down to. Now, we are in the earliest implementation of this, so I'm hoping that maybe things get tweaked in the future. But that is currently what we have for the grafting system. Now, like I said, you may have noticed, not all of these actually give you a grafting option. So peppercorn, there's no grafting option for that. Deviated crops, there's no grafting for deviated crops. You can't use crafting, you can't use deviated crops for crafting. Also, another common misconception is when I go to crafting, let's say I was going to use scarlet calamus and bellflower. Once you do that and you craft that crop is not usable as scarlet calamus or bellflower. It is only useful in recipes that specifically call for calamus bellflower. I was under the assumption that if you mixed them, it wouldn't then be able to you could use it for both. That's not the case currently. If you mix coneflower in this or whatever purple coneflower, you can only use what the grafting result is. It does not work as like the 2 originals. It doesn't give you like an option, you know? So again, sage calamus, like it won't work as sage in one thing or calamus in another dish. It just doesn't work that way. So there's that. I guess this is more for the other classes. I think some of those chef classes and some of the Beastmaster like food requirements or whatever can use some of this. So you could sell it to them, I guess. But there's that. Now, I think I covered everything in this area. Grafting stuff, you graft it, you wait, and it takes forever. Yeah, that covers that. All right, so let's talk about this portable planter box. This thing is an absolute nightmare to figure out. So you have 2 options with this. If you hover over it, you have place and you have seed breeding. So seed breeding is if you have seeds in your inventory. Now, this will pull up everything you have. If you have them in your inventory, not seeds, sorry, if you have the crop in your inventory and you go to seed breeding, you can click on it, you can hit confirm, and you can hover over it, and you can say right here, it says seed breeding, 55 seconds left. What it's going to do is it's going to turn that 1 scarlet calamus into 3 seeds, which is fantastic. That is a very nice feature because a lot of times when you go out looking for crops, you want a whole bunch of seeds. So you're using your high yield gloves, you're using the harvest reaper, whatever. This is really good for converting the seeds. Now, you can only do 1 at a time or 3 seeds. So you can't like batch do them. I wish you could like queue them up, you know, and have a whole bunch of them. But basically we wait for this to get done. And once it's done, we hit G again to claim the seed. I honestly think it should just go straight to your inventory, but it doesn't. So you have to come back and you have to claim it. So the seed breeding is done. And now it says harvestable. So we can hit G and we got 2 scarlet calamus seeds. So that just turned a crop into a seed. Now, Again, when you click on this and go to seed, this is going to pull up everything you have in your inventories around you at your base. I don't think it's supposed to, but it does. It might get fixed in the future. But if you click on it and it doesn't work, then it's because it's not in your inventory. So before I was doing this, clicking on it, it wasn't doing anything. It's because the crop is not specifically in your inventory. It has to be in your inventory to work. Now, let's talk about placing. This was such a nightmare. So let's say you go through all of this effort and you get a biomechanical crop. Let's say you did it. Finally, you got one. You're excited. Oh my gosh. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up to it and you're going to have a couple of options here. I'm going to probably overlay another video because I recorded a little bit of it. And basically it's going to give you two options. It's going to say L to place in your inventory, or it's going to say, I believe it's going to say recycle. So gut instinct is press L, place it in your inventory. It's going to then place it as a decoration item in your inventory. So you can click on it in your decoration item and you can place it anywhere in your base area that you want it, and it'll be a functioning thing there. Now, in order to get it into your biomechanical or into your portable planter pot, you actually have to place it and you have to hit recycle. Don't destroy. Do not go in your inventory and hit destroy. Do not do that. No, don't do that. When it's out, you have to go and you have to hit recycle. Once you hit recycle, it will automatically go into your portable planter box and it will say internal crops, agent biomechanical. Now you will be able to finally press wherever it's at and you'll be able to place it. And then you will have your portable planter box and your plant with you. Now, when you go up to it, if you have a crop, it's going to say claim seed. Basically, that's your seed that you had in there when you hit the seed breeding. Or you can hit X to cancel a summon, and it'll go back to your inventory. And then there'll be a small cooldown on your portable planter box, and then you can place it down again. Now, I have also heard that if you try to put another seed in your portable box, that it will replace it. So be careful with that. I haven't tested it because I don't know. But yeah, if you already have one in your portable box and you get another one, be prepared to possibly lose that seed forever. Now, certain biomechanicals have certain abilities. And I believe there's combat ones and then there's like useful ones. We're going to go take this out. We're going to go play with it so you can see it in action. The last thing that I want to cover is, I believe, there's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack. There was a lot of learning and testing here, and I still don't know hardly anything about this. The soil solution and the handheld scanner device thing. So soil solution can modify fertility in the current area. Basically, that brings your area's fertility up. What do I mean by area's fertility? If you have your little portable handheld deal, which you should, you can bring it out, and in the top left of your screen, it says region fertility, area temperature, and area contamination. My gosh, my area is terrible right now. We are currently at negative 500. So in order for me to combat that, when I moved here, it was like 360. It was like nice and high. In order to combat that, you can go into your tools. If you craft, you have to craft the soil stuff, which actually I don't even have one. Let me craft one. Luckily for us, the soil solution is actually pretty cheap. It just requires 2 fertilizer, 5 spoiled food, and 3 purified water. If you're having an issue with spoiled food, go to the coastline and look for rocks that have like shells on them and get shellfish. That stuff is fantastic. It's easy to get, and it turns into nothing. It rots within like 3 or 4 hours. So, but let me go ahead and make one of these. Let me make 2 of them actually. So I have the soil solution now. You can put it in your hotbar. You can hit your hotbar menu item or whatever. Now, hovering over here and with it in your hand, you'll see that your region fertility, mine is still negative 500. Not great. Click it once, and every time you click, it's going to go up by 10. And it has a kind of a long animation. I'm not going to lie. And it uses, I believe, how much did that use of it? So it uses 10. So it goes up by 10 and uses 10. So basically, you can sit here and continually click forever and use a soil thing. Now, if you press and hold, I don't know if it goes any faster. No, if you press and hold, it does nothing different. So this works for fixing your region fertility. Honestly, for me, negative 500, it'd be better for me just to move somewhere else at this point, you know? So it would just be better. Now, what the fertility does is it increases your overall growth speed. So if you go down to one of these, plants here. Let's see. I can't really look at any of them. If I had one growing, you could see like its growing stats and stuff like that, and it'll tell you it's like, oh, you know, the area fertility is good, so it's growing faster now. But basically, that's what the soil does, and that's how the handheld scanner thing works. So like I said, you can take your handheld scanner thing, and you can literally just go from place to place, leave it out. You can hop on your bike or whatever, and it will still show you what it's at. So basically, you just go from area to area, and like right here, it's at 90 now. Like if I just move my base from there to there, I'd be plus like 500. So yeah, you can use it to do that as well. Now, let's go and let's play it with the, let's go put the planter box out. Let's go see it in combat so you can get an idea what that does. And hopefully this is helpful. I really hope this is helpful. Like I said, I don't have all the nitty gritty information about everything. There is not any information about any of this. I haven't found any guides anywhere from from anybody. So this is what we've got. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's try this anyway. What level are you? 14. Now I have no idea how much damage these things do. Okay, so that's apparently, what the heck? I don't want to hit him because I want the plant to hit him. Okay, that's apparently the range that we have. Oh no, he's shooting the plant! I'm scared that my plant's gonna get destroyed, to be honest. That's super not great. I really don't want that to happen, but we gotta see how much damage this thing actually does here. So, let's go ahead and place it back out. All right, get him. Okay, so it's blocked by that. And I have a feeling that this guy's gonna get destroyed. Wow, he just dips out. He just moves out of the area. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think the plants are actually that useful in combat. Just saying. Let me see. Let's go see if we can find somewhere else. These are only level 14 dudes too. Like they're not doing a whole lot of damage. And I don't know how much damage they can take. There's no health bar. I haven't noticed a health bar at all. So here, let's try this. Let me run right next to you, place a plant down. So it did 130 damage. Maybe it can't hurt it. I think it can. I definitely think there's going to be the ability to destroy it. The problem is that they can move right out of range, and that's what he's doing. It moves straight out of range. Yeah, there you go. that's what you got. Like I said, I think there's other ones that are probably more useful than this one. As a whole, and honestly how it feels, the gardener class is not super rewarding for the actual gardener. I think the gardening class is more for supporting the chef class and the beastmaster class. Like I said, I think the beastmaster class has certain foods that require some of the special items, and I think the chef class has the same thing. So I don't know if the gardener class is maybe by itself very good, but that's the information I have. Hopefully that covers everything. If there's anything I missed, please leave a comment. I'll try to answer whatever questions I get. If you want to catch me on a live stream, by all means. We live stream pretty frequently, playing Once Human quite a bit now. And yeah, that's the gardener. That was a lot, I know. But hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.